Hey everyone, I'm Greg. Thanks for watching this video. This one is all about Hit the Gold, a new program that's come out onto the market to help archers like me, amateur archers, pro archers, really doesn't matter your level, but it helps you improve your game from a mental standpoint. The most important part of archery, without question, is the mental game. I think it's overlooked the most. But Hit the Gold addresses that when you're away from the archery range. I mean, you can actually use it to measure your brain activity while you're shooting, but the big advantage is when you're not actually at the range, preparing the brain and actually doing archery in the mind. Sounds kind of weird, right? Well, I'm going to break this video up into a bunch of different segments because it can get pretty lengthy, and it's going to give you the opportunity to spin through the video quickly because I'll have like big areas where there'll be breaks with the topic that's coming up next. So if you want to skip through, you can. So first thing we're going to do is talk about what is Hit the Gold. What is neurofeedback is another segment. I'm going to touch on that briefly just to squelch some, people that don't really understand what neurofeedback is. How Hit the Gold works, we're going to talk briefly about that as well. The benefits that you'll see from Hit the Gold. The gear, because you're going to need a couple things, including the program. We'll talk about that. And then I'm going to get into the actual program itself, how that works, the interface, and some of the features and benefits it has along with it. And then I'm going to wrap it up by telling you what I've found, because I've been using Hit the Gold now for a couple of months. As soon as the program came out, it was available on PC. I bought it because I have Windows Parallels on my Mac, and I contacted the folks at Hit the Gold, and I've actually had a chance to talk to the COO of Hit the Gold in a Skype interview, which you'll see in some of this video. And they asked if I wanted to help develop the Mac version. So I've been with the Hit the Gold folks, but again, I paid for the program, so this is like just me wanting to talk about a little bit. I've also had experience with neurofeedback for many years, coming from the motorcycle racing community and having a lot of my friends, including myself, have a little bit of brain injury from crashing and hitting your head. I'm familiar with neurofeedback for about the last 12 years or so. So I understand what neurofeedback is. So this is going to be Hit the Gold, kind of explained in some detail. We hope you enjoy it. So let's get with it. The first topic is going to be, what is Hit the Gold? Well, Hit the Gold is a program that is designed simply to help train the brain in what is a good archery shot. You've been down the range before and you felt what a good shot feels like, and you hit a 10 and you get excited about it. So somewhere in your brain is how to shoot a perfect 10 every time. Hit the Gold is a program that's designed using brainwave measuring techniques that dumps your brainwaves into an algorithm, and you play games to see how well you're able to control your brain to make good shots. Alpha waves are calming waves, like meditative waves. And those are the waves that have been measured over the last year by the folks at Core Interface who make Hit the Gold that have determined what makes a good shot, so clearing your brain. So it's a program that uses these devices like this. This is a headset that measures EEG brain waves. This one is like a neoprene bandana that goes around your head that basically has a lead that touches your forehead and then connects the circuit on your ear, and it measures those brain waves. And you actually play video games with your mind. So it measures your brain waves when you're getting ready to draw back, when you're at hold, and you execute the shot. And it will tell you via the where the arrow hits on the target whether your brain was clear or not. So bottom line is that Hit the Gold is a program on your computer designed to promote positive alpha brain waves that allow you to relax in your shot and hit the 10 every time. Hit the Gold. Neurofeedback really is just the measuring of electrical impulses in your brain, right? Brain waves in megahertz frequencies. It's not a way to control your brain. It's not input. It's just measurement of what's going on. And then you can use techniques to help to repair or influence some of these brain waves through neurofeedback, which I have a lot of experience with some head trauma from crashing motorcycles over the years and seeing some other friends go through it. And neurofeedback really helped me with some short-term memory issues. But that's not what this really is about. This is about measuring your brain waves and then using that measurement to apply it to archery and make you a more consistent and a better archer. Because if you've ever shot a 10, your brain knows how to shoot a 10. It's a matter of getting out of your own way, stop those little thoughts that creep into your head, and getting to execute the shot with a clear brain. Neurofeedback is the way to get there. So again, neurofeedback is just, in this case, measuring your brain waves through EEG monitors like the ones I have in my hand. All right, the big question, how does Hit the Gold work? Well, if you're interested, I had a conversation via Skype from Croatia with COO of Core Interface, who makes Hit the Gold, Marin Mindoljevic. And this is what he had to say.
First of all, there's two different types of help through Hit the Gold. First one is conscience, and for people that are willing to learn and understand about, first of all, about brainwave dynamics, about the differences between different brainwaves. Through Hit the Gold, you can learn all these things. That alpha is for meditation state and for relaxing. That the beta waves are for some sensorimotoric problems and some thinking. That theta waves are a distraction and thinking about something that's not even here, and then through our exercises in our improved feature, you can learn how to influence each one of those. You can learn how to lower the ones that are not good for you and how to raise the waves to a bigger frequency of the things you want to raise, like your alpha, to keep you more relaxed and calm. That's one way. That would be like the perfect way. The other way, by playing Hit the Gold, or let's say when a user plays a tournament and he doesn't understand anything about the brain waves, every time he hits a 10, it's a reward for the brain. So brain will remember those states unconsciously. And if you keep hitting those 10s, your brain will get more efficient and will get to that state quicker and more efficient. So even for the user that doesn't understand what's going on, he can benefit from hitting 10s and Hit the Gold.
All right, so to sum all of that up, it measures your brain waves. It determines at the moment if you have a clear mind, alpha waves, and it gives you a 10. If you don't, and you have some clouded thoughts, even for the moment, then you're going to shoot a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6. And so you're working to find a rhythm within yourself. I tend to try to concentrate on my breathing, and that helps to clear my mind a little bit. And then generally I shoot 10s on that. So that's actually how Hit the Gold works. What about the benefits of Hit the Gold? Let's go back to Marin for more on that.
It's hard telling, because, it's very individual, I can give a couple of examples of Buden and Vavro. Domagoj Buden and Mario Vavro, they're our two biggest ambassadors. They have been with us through the research, through the making of the algorithm, and they've been using Hit the Gold for, let's say, last, I would say, 6 or 7 months. Buden has moved up 30 places on a world ranking. We're not saying, and even he's not saying, of course it's not all about Hit the Gold, but Hit the Gold gave him some kind of confidence, at the line that they're just killing it, And the same thing with Mario. Mario was now in Vegas. He was in top, in top 10 in Vegas. They're breaking their personal records almost on a monthly basis. So for them too, and I know they've been using it a lot more than anybody else in the world, you can just tell by the confidence, about understanding how you have to be relaxed and how relaxation is by far the most important thing in anything, not just archery execution, because one thing we keep telling people is your brain will never miss. You know, if you're relaxed and if you're clear-minded and you don't interrupt your brain, the brain will never miss. You know, the brain will do the movement that it's been doing, that has been done for thousands of times. You know, and he will never miss. You will miss by giving me the wrong information, unnecessary information at the critical points of a movement.
Okay, so now you know about all of that stuff. So we're at the point now of how do you get Hit the Gold? Well, you simply go to hitthegold.com and you can actually purchase the program. Now there's a couple of choices. Number one, I'm happy to announce that now they're on Mac. They hadn't been on Mac since they introduced it a few months ago, at the time of this video anyway. And you have your choice of recurve or compound, depending on your particular discipline and what you like to shoot. So you got to choose Mac PC, recurve, or compound. You buy it, you download the program. I mean, you know how that stuff works. Now, the second component, which is actually a little bit more difficult, is going to be the EEG brain wave monitor, okay? So there's a couple of different types out there. You can look on their website, and they recommend which ones to use. This one that I have in my hand is more of a solid, rigid one. It's from Mindwave, and this thing is great. It gets the job done, no problem. If you have it on for a long, long time, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it does have a AAA battery in it that you can replace. Now, this is great for now for sitting at a desk or in a hotel room or whatever. This one is from Mindplay, and it's much more expensive, and it comes from, I believe, the UK, and it's got a neoprene headset on it, and it has a little Bluetooth sender there. So you have the sensor that goes on the forehead, and then this actually connects onto your earlobe, and that's the way that works. This one is more for future use, I think, when you're going to be a little bit more active with virtual reality. So if you don't want to spend a couple $100s on getting this one, I totally recommend you getting this Mindwave Mobile. It's perfectly fine, works great, connects to your device. All right, so once you choose your headset, then it's really important to figure out how to connect these things to your computer. You've got to get a program called ThinkGear Connector for either the PC or the Mac, because you can connect this via Bluetooth directly to your computer, but it's not going to stay connected like a normal Bluetooth device would. You need that ThinkGear Connector program that's available to download in order to kind of connect it up. So you can connect it Bluetooth initially, and then it's going to drop off. But when you open up the program, in the background, it's going to find it. So the key to it all is to turn this headset on, then open up the program while ThinkGear Connector is running in the background. All right, so that's what you really want to take care of. That's what you want to do. Once you figure out how to connect your Bluetooth device to your computer, the rest of it is absolutely easy. Next up is the program itself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn my headset on, and then I'm just going to connect it to my head. Okay. And then you take this little bit here and connect your earlobe to it. Make sure that's nice and in the meat of the earlobe. All right. And then what I'm going to do is go down to my applications and launch my Hit the Gold program. And it's going to open up right there. I had to drag it in from another screen. But so the first thing is that you obviously have to register. You have to buy the program. So once you get past that point, the program loads. And there will be a little bit of music. Down here in the lower left-hand corner is going to be your options. You can change your graphic quality. So depending on the speed of your computer. Graphics aren't crucial at this point. You've got to see them. You've got to use them. It's important, but ultimately the way the graphics are designed are for the future, possibly virtual reality type stuff. Your arrow release, you can do it on the click or you can do it on timing depending on your shot and how you like it. I like to actually do it on timing. There's tutorials in there that are going to show you each step. Eventually, once you get the program down, you can turn the tutorials off. Your sound level, like I mentioned, it can go up and down on the sound. The music will eventually stop and you're going to hear different things. And then, of course, you have a couple of languages available as well. If you go to the lower right-hand part of the program, that'll actually end the program. So you can see my username up there and that my headset is connected and it's good to go. So when we get into the actual program itself, there's a couple different tabs that you can click on. Most of your time is going to be spent here on Improve. And the reason that is because you really want to start training your brain and how it works. So Improve is pretty simple. You get in there and you read the directions. You continue on through. The first one is the meditation training, and it's 60 seconds. And the idea here is that you want to try to calm your brain, calm down, and get it all up into that 100 range. And if you do it good enough, then you'll pass and you move on to the next step in the process. No matter what happens in this one, I'm moving to the next step in the process. You should repeat the session, of course. Instead of repeat, I'm going to continue. The next one is your shot cycle training. And when you get into shot cycle training, it's 45 seconds. You're going to see this is the compound animation. So we're looking at the compound animation now. It's going to give us a countdown. And again, it's about alpha waves, promoting those waves, clearing the brain, going through your shot cycle, trying to clear the mind. When you cloud your mind with a variety of thoughts about your day, about you have homework due, you have a report due at work, you have a big meeting, those are the types of thoughts that are going to not allow your subconscious, your unconscious, to execute the shot, especially if you have hundreds or thousands of arrows that you've shot well. So in this particular process, because I'm talking, there's no way I'm going to make it. It's going to say repeat the process again. No. And then you go to hit the gold. And this next step is all about aiming the shot. And again, it's all about staying calm, not thinking too much. As you can read this, in the session, you got to learn how to get in the zone. You don't want to overthink those types of things, okay? So you click it, and then obviously it's a target. And as my brain is wandering all around, I'm not getting close. See if I can even get it close to the middle. All right, so then you can go take a look at your results. And so it's going to give us the meditation stage, what happened, preparation. I've done 1 of 3, and I was unsuccessful. And then this is going to be a graph that kind of shows you where you were in that final aiming stage. Then you can get out of it. So you have analyze here, which you can go back in and analyze some of your data in your logbooks through tournaments and different things that you've done. And all that's nice. You can also record. So you have to have really a partner to help you on the record side of things. So these are measuring all your different brain waves. And the idea is to record while you're shooting. And you can see that there's high alpha, low alpha, beta waves, gamma waves, delta, theta. So that's what it's measuring right now. And so basically what happens when you hit record is you have someone recording this for you while you're drawing back, while you're executing the shot. You can change the layout to just distractive waves, or, that's the layout. You can see what waves are distracting you, quiet waves, and so on. So that's the record button. Where I have the most fun is in the play. You can choose indoor or outdoor. You can do practice. You can do tournaments. Practice is great because you can set the number of arrows you want. This will be indoor practice. And it has, again, the tutorial. So shot is comprised of 2 phases. Your positioning, your aiming. Keep track of your mind waves and how you... All right, so you hit continue. Now we'll go through one of the cycles here. This is where you're drawing back and you're supposed to be thinking about nothing. And then, since I was talking, I shot a 6. Now again, I have it set to a particular time, the shortest amount of time possible. I think it's within 3 seconds. You can choose longer. You can choose more clicks. Just depends on your shot cycle. Once again, you can analyze each shot and what you did and how your brain was wandering. Okay, you can leave practice. When you go back into play and you go into the tournament level, you have local, national, continental, and world. And the cool thing is that you've got to shoot a number of arrows in competition, and you've got to beat You got to be number one in the local level, then the national level, then the continental, then the world. So like I can rip through local, no problem. I'm okay in national. When I get to continental, I'm like struggling. So that's where going back and getting into the improve helps out a lot. But let's just go to an outdoor session. Let's go to a tournament. Let's go to local and take a look. So there's me up at the top. We're all at zeros. Here's a bunch of random electronic people. The future might hold being connected to your friends doing this, actually, when you're at home and competing with them online. So you can see upper left-hand part of the screen is 36 arrows total. So you do the same thing. Hit shot, goes through the cycle. All right. It'll give you basically 3 arrows at a time. So let me see if I can clear my brain. There you go. Okay, so that gives you a good idea of what's going on with Hit the Gold and how it works. Now, what about my feedback? I've been using Hit the Gold since March, and the one thing I can tell you is that my scores have definitely gone up. I travel a lot. I think I've already traveled maybe, it's halfway through the year, and I'm already at maybe 55 or 60,000 miles on an airplane, plus all the miles I do in a car. So for me, it's extremely beneficial to have Hit the Gold because when I'm in hotel rooms working for 3, 4, 5 days at a time, I can go back and I can actually continue to train my brain with archery. Now, my scores have gone up. You know, I'm around a 680 in a 720 round type of guy, so I'm not like a 700 person, but 680s are okay, you know, kind of mid-pack. It depends who shows up to the tournament. So my scores have gone up a little bit. Now, I did make a change in equipment that I haven't really gotten along with, change bow manufacturers, and I'm still able to shoot better scores with a bow that isn't as comfortable for me, and I don't have a lot of experience with. But every time I go back to my old bow and shoot, it's like I shoot lights out. The thing about Hit the Gold that's very interesting to me is that because now I'm aware of how my brain works, when I miss a shot, when I shoot an 8 at 50 meters instead of a 10, oftentimes I will catch my subconscious having a little conversation with myself while that shot went off. Like, why did I even worry about if the iron was on or worry about that meeting in shot 4 of 6 in end number 7? So I continue to work with the program, and as they continue to evolve the program, it's going to be really, really beneficial for me in the long run because I can feel when I'm at the line the difference in my mental approach, and I'm very aware of those alpha waves now. So my recommendation is that you spend the money on the headset, on the program, and you get yourself Hit the Gold, because on those days when you can't go out and shoot your bow, or the days even when after you've shot and you're physically fatigued from shooting the bow, especially you recurve folks taking so much more energy than compound does, is that you can continue to work on your archery in the convenience of your home. You can use your computer and this headset, and you can continue to train your brain. Now, after a good hour session, you will definitely feel fatigued, like your brain gets tired because you're working it. But it's a great training tool, and it's something that everyone should have if you're serious about your archery. Even if you're a hunter and you want to just get better without having to pull the bow out. I know a lot of you hunters will pull the bow out 2 weeks before hunting season and then baffled on why you can't kill a deer or something. Well, Hit the Gold will allow you to train your brain with archery all year round, and by the time you get to pulling that bow back, your brain's already going to understand what it needs to do a lot better than it does now. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. As I get more experience with Hit the Gold, I'll post up some other videos. But for now, that's about it. So check out hitthegold.com. Download the program, get yourself a headset, and really enjoy the experience. But I think the key is you got to stick with it. You know, it's not one of these things where you're going to do it once or twice and all of a sudden you're going to be sitting on top of the world. It's a slow training process. So commit to doing it about 5 times a week, maybe for an hour or even a half hour. Play a game, improve, do whatever you can, even 4 times a week. But do it more than you don't do it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see improvements in your archery game. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm Greg, and I'm out of here. Bye.